I'm only alone because of you. You had your prince and you had Chuck. You didn't need to take Dan, too.
I didn't take Dan. That's not how relationships work. Why didn't you offer me the money? And what kills me is you don't even have to work. You're volunteering.
You don't owe anyone a dime version of yourself. You do not have to shrink yourself to make others feel more comfortable. Real queens don't fight for the crown. Hello, my beautiful queens. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today, we're going to talk about the dark side of female friendship when your feminine glows, triggers jealousy and competition. I think this is something that is important to talk about. And we talk constantly about relationships with men, we talk about men, but also relationships that are very important is friendships with other women. But there's also a dark side to that, and this is very annoying when you're highly feminine. It can trigger jealousy, it can trigger competition. And women naturally compete with each other, which is something I'm not for, obviously, on my channel. I always say don't compete with other women. It makes you look bad. It makes you lose your magnetism if you compete with other women. This is masculine energy to compete, right? We should be in our feminine and uplift each other. But sometimes, silently and subtly, and sometimes even savagely, you will have women being rival and compete with you and trying to dim your light. I remember I did a video about how to spot fake friends. I will link it below, and how to deal with people that are jealous of you, and also talk about the movie Malena, because I think in this movie it is really representative of women's jealousy. But in this movie, Monica Bellucci is just, she's beautiful, she's just herself, and she doesn't even do much. She's just walking around, and those women absolutely hate her. And sometimes nothing activates silent war faster than a woman who is embraced in her feminine power. I am recently also rewatching Gossip Girl. That is why I'm wearing like a lot of jewelry, because in Gossip Girl, for some reason, at some point they were wearing really big necklaces. And so in Gossip Girl, the war between Blair and Serena is really central in the show. At the beginning, you see more of Blair being jealous of Serena.
Why would I try to steal something from you that I pushed you to do?
Because you take everything from me. Nate, my mom,
Blair!
you can't even help it.
It's who you are.
Because at the beginning, Serena gets a lot of attention, so she gets everything very easily, and Blair has to work for it, so she's jealous from how Serena, it's so easy for her to have everything. But then towards the end of the show, it is Serena that is jealous of Blair, because Blair becomes a princess, she gets married. You see it like towards the time that she gets married to Prince Louis, Serena tried to sabotage her.
Happy endings often lack, so if I were B, I'd watch my back.
I may have let Louise's mother know about him and Blair, but somehow it worked out to her favor.
And you can have those kind of situation in real life as well. You have to be careful who you're friends with. You are in a healthy relationship, you're in a healthy marriage, your friends can sabotage it. That your friends can try to steal your man.
It's not like her to choose Chuck and not say anything.
It's exactly like her, actually. Don't you see, Dan, the Blair that you're in love with isn't the real Blair. It's the one that you created in your book.
So you have to be very selective of the people around you. So we're gonna talk about the dark side of feminine friendship and what happens when you have jealous friends and how to protect yourself from that situation. And we're going to also talk about the movie Malena and other examples in Sex and the City, in Gossip Girl, and in other TV shows that we all love, because I love talking about movies and TV shows, as you know. But first, just wanted to let you know that if you want to see more of my content, I talk about fashion, femininity, old Hollywood glamour, seduction, dating, and anything to make you become a highly feminine lady and to upgrade your confidence. Feel free to join the channel, the link is down below, and also follow me on my Instagram and on TikTok. So when you become that girl, everything changes. When you are upgrading yourself, when your life gets better, when you make more money, when you have a wonderful partner, when things get better for you, that's when you see if your friends are actually real friends and if they support you. So in that case, you're not competing, but they are secretly competing with you. For example, what I said about Blair and Serena in Gossip Girl, it's like Blair was finally getting her fairy tale princess dream. She's marrying the prince. She's happy. Like everything is going on well for her. She's even friends with Dan. And I think that Her friendship with Dan is very, very beautiful. I loved their friendship. But I feel like Serena was jealous, really, really jealous of the bond that she had with Dan. And also she was jealous of the fact that for once it was Blair that had all of the attention. All of the tabloids were talking about Blair marrying the prince, and she's marrying into royalty. That's not nothing. And at the same time, it's like all the men are after Blair, right? Dan is in love with Blair, we know that. Chuck is, of course, always in love with Blair. And then the prince is also in love with Blair, and he is marrying her. So at that moment in Gossip Girl, it's like everyone wants Blair and everything is about her. And Serena is left with nothing, when usually she is the spotlight. She is the one that all the men want.
Well, I'm only alone because of you. You had your prince and you had Chuck. You didn't need to take Dan too.
I didn't take Dan. That's not how relationships work.
You can do everything. You can try to make her feel more confident. You can try to reassure this friend that you have about the fact that she's valuable, about the fact that she's gonna find someone as well. But if she's really insecure and really have this vicious mindset, it doesn't matter.
Because I've got a page from Blair Waldorf's diary where she tells all about who's really in her heart. And there's lots more where that came from, courtesy of her BFF, SVDW.
And I feel like also the media pushes us to put our relationship with men on a pedestal, and that is the most important relationship that you've ever had. But in terms of friends, no, like nobody talks about how to make friends. Nobody talks about how to keep good relationship with friends or how important that is in your life. And I have to tell you, your man cannot fulfill all of your needs. A lot of you constantly ask me, how do I make friends? How do I make friends as an adult? And this is why I'm organizing those fabulous events that I'm organizing, the retreat that I organized in Dubai and the fabulous event that I'm organizing in Miami. It is for us to meet finally as high value ladies that have the same mindset, the same energy, the same girls mentality, that are supportive of each other. The Goddess retreat in Dubai was next level and was so transformational. The energy by itself is already high level, high vibration, but on top of it, I'm going to give you tons of advice that I don't give on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to explain to you and be there for you for all your specific problems and all of your specific questions. I feel like it's a very intimate and powerful support that you get during those events that you don't get anywhere else, and you get to meet people that you can be friends with and form a lifelong friendships with people that have the same mindset as you. I know how hard it is to find feminine ladies that are in the same mindset. Oh, beautiful ladies, what is going on? So that's why I'm organizing those fabulous events. And if you want to join the event in Miami, the link is down below, and it's going to be extra fabulous. A very exclusive event, exclusive opportunity, very few spots available, so you don't want to miss that. But it's true that you have to be careful of who you interact with. So for example, they would compare your glow, your style. Maybe they feel jealous of what you have. Maybe they feel jealous of your confidence. I remember in college at some point, I was with my friends. They were talking about insecurities, and I said, well, I don't have much insecurities. I don't know. I love myself. Like, I love things about myself. Like, they were talking about the things that they don't love about themselves. Oh, I want to change my nose. I want to change this and that. And for me, I said, no, I love everything. So I don't want to change anything. And so they had a certain look, you know, So these people, obviously, these friends were not real friends. They were friends that were comparing each other.
I hate my thighs. Well, I'll take your thighs and raise you a chin.
I'll take your chin and raise you a...
I happen to love the way I look.
But yeah, you always have an intuition, some form of whisper or fake smiles, or the friends that think, oh, you're better than everyone, you think you're better than everyone. But I should not also shrink myself to make others feel more comfortable. That is the nice girl syndrome again, right? The nice girl syndrome, you should not have it with men, but you should also not have it with women. Feel like you have to disappear so that other women can shine, so that your friends can shine, or so that your friends feel more comfortable. No, you're allowed to also shine. You're allowed to also feel beautiful, to get attention from men, to have success in your career, to have success in your life. I feel like if women would be more supportive of each other, women would rule the world, basically, because our feminine energy is so powerful. As I always say to you, how much power we have with feminine energy. And if on top of it, we have the support towards each other of other women, then we would be unstoppable, honestly. So for example, in the movie Malena, Monica Bellucci's character is punished just because she's beautiful and feminine, basically. She does nothing. She just walks around in the plaza and all the men are looking at her. And when you are a highly feminine woman, it happens to you every single day. She's not there competing. She's not there chasing after the men. And she's not even dressed in a way that's super provocative either. She just exists. She's just beautiful. And the men are lusting after her. It's not her fault. But then that was enough to make all of the women of this town turn against her. She barely speaks in the movie. You don't even hear her speak. You just have shots of her. She doesn't even chase men. She doesn't even try to be seductive. That's the power of this movie. She doesn't even try to be seductive. She doesn't do anything. And she still triggers everyone. She's elegance and she's sensuality. And other women are afraid of that aspect of themselves and are afraid, and they feel like they're not good enough compared to her. They whisper, they mock, they abuse. She was never their enemy. She was a fantasy, their threat, their wound. It exposed their wound, and because they couldn't be her, they tried to destroy her. And this is exactly what friends that are jealous of you will try to do. Because they cannot be you, they will try to destroy you. Simply existing and simply having your own style and your own way of being and your own confidence, it can trigger people. It can trigger people insecurity so that they feel they're not adequate compared to you. So that it has nothing to do with you. It's their projection. They're projecting. They can have a certain perception, especially when you're highly feminine, when you're high value and you walk around in high heels and everything. In certain cities, I mean, in Dubai, it's fine. You can dress up. But in certain cities, it's not the case. Not all the cities are as glamorous as Dubai. So then you dress up and you are the only one being dressed like that, or you're the only one being that feminine. What do? People are going to look at you. People are going to talk about you. Your friends maybe are going to be jealous of you. Your friends are maybe going to be like, who does she think she is? And that can prevent you from leveling up, actually. I've always been the kind to not care about those things. I would just go to university with my big coat, fur on it, and just like being such a fashionista, and everyone would be dressed down. But I would not care because I was having fun. Also in movies, the mean girls are always the girls that have the best style. It was like a demonization of the femininity in movies for the longest time. The feminine girls, the girls that take care of themselves, the girls that look good, the girls that have makeup, the girls that are super girly and pink, they are always the mean girls. So that everyone thinks that when you are dressed up, when you're all that, that means that you're snobby, that you're stuck up, and that you're mean, and that you think that you're better than everyone. I feel like also movies have an expectation of how friendship should be, especially as an adult. So when you look at Sex and the City, for example, you think that friendship should be like their friendship. Calling each other every day, seeing each other every day, always going for lunch, and being always available for each other, which is not the case. You have a life, we all have jobs and relationships and hobbies, and we're all busy. And I feel like it's not really realistic to expect that everyone would be available all the time. And if someone is not responding to you, if someone is not available, then oh my god, it's the end of your friendship. And I feel like you have different categories of friends. You have friends that are really close to you, your closest friends, or you have friends that are maybe just acquaintances with who you can do certain things. You can go out and have fun, but they're not that close to you. You're not here to fight, and you're not here to prove to anyone that you are good and that you want to feel validated. You are here to glow, you're here to rise, you're here to receive. Feminine energy does not need to compete, it attracts. Feminine energy doesn't chase approval from other people, doesn't chase validation from other people. When another woman starts to compete or to copy you or cutting you down, you just smile and you're unbothered. You don't owe anyone a dime version of yourself. As I said, you do not have to shrink yourself to make others feel more comfortable. If your beauty, your confidence, your softness, or your sensuality triggers other women, let it. Let them compete with your rise. Real queens don't fight for the crown. Real queens surround themselves with other queens and they fix each other's crowns. I feel like also in Sex and the City, you have this very, very powerful example of Carrie when she is asking for money from Charlotte. Carrie was shaming Charlotte for not giving her money.
Why didn't you offer me the money? I would have offered it to you. You're my friend.
And money and friendship don't mix.
Carrie needed money to have her down payment for her apartment, and she did not ask her friends, she just said that. And some of her friends like Samantha and Miranda did offer her the money, but Charlotte didn't. And Charlotte said, well, that complicates things when you mix money and friendships. And Carrie was really, really offended by that, and she was offended by the fact that Charlotte did not offer her the money. And the thing is, Charlotte does not owe her the money. I feel like deep down, Carrie was jealous about the fact that Charlotte had money, was able to not work, and you can really see it when she says to Charlotte, well, you don't even have to do anything, you don't even have to work, you don't even do anything all day, you don't even need this money.
And what kills me is you don't even have to work. You're volunteering.
Whoa, we can really see, because Carrie is struggling with money and she doesn't have any money because she spent it all in shoes. And Charlotte, she got married and she had money after her divorce. She had the apartment, so she doesn't even need to pay for the apartment. The apartment was paid by her ex-husband. She's smart on that. But then Carrie was jealous of that. I feel like that's why Carrie was obsessed with Mr. Big. I think that's because she wanted this lifestyle. She wanted the glamorous, rich lady lifestyle, rich housewife, and she envied Charlotte because she had it. Women can be jealous of your looks, they can be jealous of your outfit. So in Malena, the case is that they're jealous of your looks, they're jealous of the fact that she's beautiful, she's well dressed, she's feminine, but they can also be jealous of your relationships, which was the case in Gossip Girl. Serena was jealous of the fact that Blair had all of those men after her. But also, women can be jealous of your social status like we see in Sex and the City. And I feel like also Carrie was always not a good friend. All the times that she canceled plans with Miranda because she was with her man. You also have women that have friends just when they don't have anyone else. And once they have a man, all of their friends don't exist anymore.
Jesus, every time you get near him, you turn into this pathetic, needy, insecure victim. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that you're more than willing to go right back for more.
That is really because they're using you and they're using your energy just to not be alone, just to go out and find a man. Those women that are obsessed with men, that put men on pedestal and that completely forget about their friends once they have a man, some of the worst type of people, some of the worst type of friends, because you can never count on them. You can never count on her. She will never value you, and those type of friends will never value you because they always value men more. And that was the case with Carrie. At some point, I think she had a date with Miranda. They needed to go in a restaurant, and then she canceled on her. She didn't even cancel. She didn't even call her to say that she wasn't coming. Miranda was already at the restaurant and she called her and she said, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And Carrie said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm with Big and he made steak and I wanted to stay there." This is next level disrespect. Honestly, you should not be friends with that person. So there's really a dark side to female friendships sometimes that I don't necessarily see in men. Men, when they're friends, you see them, they're always joking with each other and they're always kind of mean to each other, but deep down, they really love each other. Women, sometimes they can be totally fake in your face and be like, "You're so lovely, I love you so much." But in reality, behind closed doors, they don't like you, or they gossip about you, or they say bad things about you because they're jealous. So what are the signs that your friend is jealous of you? For example, she gives you backhanded compliments. She praises you, but there's always a hint of insult in the praise. "Oh, you're lucky you can pull that off. I'd look ridiculous. You've really changed. I guess that's what's happened when people get attention. You look too perfect today. It's kind of intimidating." These aren't really compliments. They're subtle backhanded compliments. She also, for example, dismisses your wins. When you will share good news, she quickly, for example, changes the subject. I noticed that in Sex and the City, at some point you had Charlotte. She was saying how she's so happy because she got engaged with Harry. And then you had Carrie changing completely the subject and talking about the fact that Berger, I think, broke up with her on a post-it.
And I never would have met my divorce lawyer, Harry, and I wouldn't be engaged now.
Uh-huh. Paper covers rock.
Mention her own success to overshadow yours. Downplay your accomplishments, for example. It's not a big deal. She's really there for you when there's something wrong, right? Almost happy about it. But when there's something amazing that happens to you, then that's when you see that she's not really happy about it. She has a competitive energy. She mirrors your outfit, for example. She compares herself to you. She copies you. She competes in subtle ways over appearances, men, attention, always needing to be the one that is on top, always needing to be the one that is winning over you. Like, she was there when you struggle, but when you are glowing, her supports disappear. She doesn't like your posts, she doesn't engage with your content, for example, or she's too busy to meet unless there's something that she needs. For example, also if she doesn't invite you to her wedding, or she doesn't invite you to her birthday, or she doesn't want to include you in her life, or she doesn't want to come if you invite her to your event, to your wedding, or to your birthday, or to important events in your life. She doesn't show up for you. She's gossiping or passive aggressive. Sometimes she's cold without any explanation. She gets distance, stop being warm suddenly. She acts uncomfortable when you're very feminine and when your glow is feminine. Talk to others differently than she does to you. Maybe before you were not as feminine and now you upgraded yourself and you really dress differently and you really took all of my advice and you wanted to level up yourself, and now she says that you're fake and that you've changed and that it's too much and everything. You know, she's not rooting for you. She wants you to lose. She doesn't want you to upgrade yourself and be better than her. Or for example, also she doesn't defend you in your absence. If others speak badly about you, she doesn't stop them. Or worse, she might even join them. Suddenly, she tries to sabotage you, for example, subtly, encouraging you to diminish your value, do something that you shouldn't do, like for example, just text him, it's fine, just chase after him, something that I would never tell you to do that. If we're friends, I will never tell you to do that. She's like suggesting style that don't flatter you because she wants to look better than you. I would also never do that. Like, honestly, I want you to look fabulous. That is the thing. It's like, I cannot imagine doing that to my friends. I want the best for them. I don't know why you're friends with them then. Your light feels like a threat and not an inspiration. If she admires you, she should feel inspired by you and not threatened by you. You don't need to fight, prove, or shrink yourself, as I said. You just need to observe and protect your energy. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful darlings. I hope you liked it and I hope it was really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of female friendship. If you had bad experiences with female friendship in the past, what you think of those examples that I gave you in movies. If you have other examples in your real life, let me know everything in the comments. Also, if you want to join the fabulous event in Miami, the link is down below. It is going to be super transformational. All of my books and my courses are also linked down below. And until next time, I'm giving you a lot of beautiful kisses, my darlings, and take care of you. Mwah.